When you wake up each morning, you're handed a gift that most people never stop to appreciate, the gift of authorship. You are given a blank page, a fresh canvas, an unwritten script. And on that canvas waits a simple but profound truth. Either you master your day, or your day will master you. It's not a poetic metaphor, it's a law of life. Every sunrise offers you the opportunity to choose direction, intention, and meaning. Yet most people hand that power away before they've even taken their first conscious breath. They roll into the day reacting instead of creating, surviving instead of directing, drifting instead of steering. And the moment you drift, the day takes control. The day becomes the master, and you become the servant of interruptions, distractions, and unexamined habits. Mastery begins before movement. It begins before the first step, the first word, the first demand from the world. It begins in the silent decision you make about who is in charge, you or the noise. And the noise is always eager to take over. It comes disguised as urgency, as notifications, as obligations, as the familiar patterns that pull you into autopilot. But the moment you decide that this day belongs to you, something shifts. You stop living as if life is happening to you and start living as if life is happening from you. That shift, subtle as it might seem, is the foundation of taking control. Mastering your day isn't about controlling everything that happens. You can't control traffic, weather, the moods of others, or unexpected news. Mastering your day is about controlling how you show up for everything that happens. When you take command of the energy you bring, you shape the meaning of every experience. You elevate yourself from the level of circumstance to the level of choice. That's where true power lives, not in the outer events, but in the inner stance you take toward them. The world has conditioned people to believe that rushing, stressing, and reacting are signs of responsibility. In truth, they are signs of misalignment. When you wake up and dive straight into chaos, you're telling the universe, I am available for disorder. When you wake up and claim your center, through stillness, gratitude, reflection, intention, you're telling the universe, I am available for clarity. Which do you think creates a life of peace, purpose, and strength? The most transformative moment in anyone's life is when they realize that mornings are not just the start of the day, they are the command center of life. The first thoughts you think, the first emotions you entertain, the first choices you make, they set the vibrational tone for all that follows. If you begin the day unconsciously, you spend the day trying to recover alignment. If you begin consciously, you create alignment and the day rises to meet you. People often believe that life's biggest transformations come from dramatic changes, grand events, or big breakthroughs. But mastery is much simpler. It comes from consistent, intentional rituals, small, steady, deliberate choices. The way you breathe when you wake up, the words you say to yourself before the world's voices enter, the energy you decide to embody. These are not minor acts, they are the architecture of your destiny. Every day is a microcosm of your entire life. What you repeat daily becomes what you experience yearly, and what you experience yearly becomes your story. If your daily rhythm is scattered, frantic, or reactive, your life will mirror that energy. But if your daily rhythm is centered, intentional, and grounded, everything in your life begins to transform. There is a quiet strength that comes from waking up and saying, today will not master me, I will master today. You feel it in the way you move, the way you breathe, the way you respond. You stop allowing other people's urgency to dictate your pace. You stop allowing the past to shape your presence. You stop allowing fear to narrate your choices. Instead, you rise into a higher awareness that life happens at the level of your consciousness, not at the level of your circumstances. Mastering your day requires an inner conversation, not with the world, but with yourself. It requires you to ask, what do I want to experience today? Most people never ask this. They wake up expecting the day to tell them who they are, what they should feel, and what they should do. But mastery begins with preference. What do you choose to feel? What do you choose to focus on? What do you choose to cultivate? When you hold those choices in your awareness, your actions reflect them, and your experiences align with them. Energy flows where attention goes. The moment you fix your attention on intention, the day begins to shape itself around that intention. You start noticing opportunities you once overlooked. You respond with grace where you once reacted with frustration. You move with clarity where you once hesitated. It's not that the world has changed, it's that you have taken the role of creator instead of reactor. You have chosen to be the master. Think about how many days in your life have passed without conscious design. Days where you woke up and immediately handed yourself over to tasks, expectations, or habits you never chose. Days where you weren't present, you were simply moving through motions. Mastery is the opposite of that. Mastery is presence. Mastery is awareness. Mastery is intention. When you cultivate those, you begin to live from a higher part of yourself. You are not here merely to survive the day. You are here to shape it. You are here to experience it with purpose. You are here to guide it, direct it, influence it. You are here to be the deliberate architect of your inner world. When you become that architect, life responds differently to you. Conversations shift, opportunities unfold, challenges soften. Peace becomes more natural than stress. Clarity becomes more habitual than confusion. Strength becomes more instinctive than fear. You start to realize that the day doesn't decide who you are. You decide who you are, and the day reflects that decision back to you. There is a profound freedom that comes from choosing how you will feel before anything external happens. Most people wait for conditions to determine their mood. They wait for good news to feel grateful. They wait for validation to feel confident. They wait for progress to feel motivated. But the one who masters the day reverses that relationship. They choose gratitude first. They choose confidence first. They choose inner peace first. And because they choose it first, life has no choice but to reflect that energy back in surprising and beautiful ways. Mastering your day is an act of self-respect. It's an acknowledgement that your mind, your emotions, your energy matter. It's a refusal to live on autopilot. It's a declaration that your time is not to be wasted on things that don't elevate your spirit or align with your purpose. When you master your day, you protect your focus like a treasure. You protect your inner peace like a sacred space. You protect your energy like the precious fuel it is. You understand that every distraction has a cost, and every intention has a return. There will always be voices, outer and inner, that try to steer you away from mastery. Voices of doubt, voices of fear, voices of obligation, voices of past conditioning. But mastery is learning to hear those voices without obeying them. Mastery is learning to observe without becoming entangled. When you detach from those voices, you reclaim the authority over your day. You reclaim the authority over your actions, your decisions, your state of mind. When the day begins to challenge you, and it will, you meet it from a place of inner alignment. Instead of collapsing into old patterns, you rise into new responses. Instead of reacting from habit, you respond from awareness. That is the moment you realize you are no longer mastered by circumstance. You are practicing the art of mastery. Mastering your day is not a performance. It is not about perfection or force. It is a gentle but firm commitment to consciousness. It is an ongoing conversation with yourself. How do I want to feel? What energy do I want to bring into this moment? What direction am I choosing? And with every mindful moment, your inner world becomes more ordered, more steady, more powerful. When your inner world becomes powerful, the outer world stops intimidating you. You stop being tossed by every unexpected event. You stop being destabilized by the moods or actions of others. You become anchored, grounded, centered, and from that center, you become capable of navigating anything. The storms still come, but you are no longer blowable. You meet challenges with a presence that transforms them. You meet obstacles with a clarity that dissolves them. You meet negative energy with a strength that neutralizes it. Every day is an invitation to rise into this mastery. Every morning is a chance to choose. You have the power to begin each day with consciousness, with intention, with purpose. You have the power to create a rhythm that supports your highest self, and each time you choose that rhythm, you strengthen your inner authority. Your day is always watching you, waiting to see who will take the lead. If you don't choose, it chooses for you. If you don't guide it, it guides you. If you don't set the tone, external forces will. There is no neutrality. You are either the master or the mastered. The middle ground is simply the illusion of control. And once you really understand this, once you truly grasp that your day is shaped by your consciousness, not by your circumstances, something awakens within you. A deeper sense of responsibility, yes, but also a deeper sense of freedom. You realize you are not a passenger. You are the navigator. You are not waiting for life to organize itself. You are organizing the energy you bring into life. That shift changes everything because it returns your power back to its rightful place within you. The world no longer feels overwhelming when you recognize that your inner state is the true source of direction. And as you strengthen this awareness, each day becomes less of a battlefield and more of an arena where your intention and presence shape the unfolding of every moment. You are no longer trying to escape the day, you are engaging with it as an active creator. You become attuned to the subtle signals your intuition sends, and you begin to trust the quiet inner nudges that guide you more accurately than any external noise ever could. Mastering your day means becoming aware of the sacredness of each moment. It means realizing that every interaction, every decision, every emotional response is an opportunity to choose alignment over chaos, awareness over habit, and presence over autopilot. Instead of being dragged by the momentum of old patterns, you interrupt them with conscious choice. Instead of surrendering your peace to situations you cannot control, you protect that peace by controlling the way you internalize them. That inner control becomes your anchor, your compass, your shield. And because you're anchored, the world cannot easily pull you into its turbulence. Most people underestimate how much influence they actually have over their day. They believe that circumstances dictate their direction. They wait for the environment to shift before they elevate their energy. They wait for external permission to feel good, to feel hopeful, to feel strong. But mastery flips that dynamic. When you choose your state first, you become the cause, not the effect. You become the source of the energy that shapes your day, and the day aligns itself with your chosen state rather than the other way around. There is an internal authority that grows each time you make a conscious choice in the morning. Every time you choose presence over hurry, intention over distraction, gratitude over complaint, you strengthen that authority. You teach your mind that you are in control, that you decide the tone, that you set the direction. And as that authority grows, something beautiful happens. Your life becomes more coherent. Your desires, actions, words, and energy begin to fall into alignment. You stop battling yourself. You stop contradicting your intentions through unconscious habits. You stop scattering your energy and begin channeling it into what truly matters. Imagine stepping into each day with such clarity that external noise barely touches the core of who you are. Imagine waking up already grounded, already intentional, already aware of your inner power. That is not wishful thinking, it is the result of deliberate practice. It is the result of choosing, again and again, to master the day instead of being mastered by it. And when you live this way, you begin to notice that life meets you differently. Opportunities that once seemed invisible begin to appear. Solutions that once felt distant begin to reveal themselves. You attract people, situations, and experiences that align with your elevated inner state. The day becomes something you collaborate with rather than something you fight. You are no longer wrestling with time, you are working with it. You are no longer overwhelmed by responsibilities, you are navigating them with clear intention. Even challenges feel different. Not because they disappear, but because you meet them from a place of strength rather than stress. You realize that mastery is not about having a perfect day, it is about bringing a mastered self into an imperfect day. There will still be moments that try to pull you out of alignment. There will still be unexpected disruptions. But the D Difference is that you will not be so easily shaken. You will respond instead of reacting. You will breathe instead of collapsing into old patterns. You will pause long enough to remember who is in charge. The day may present its challenges, but it will not dictate your inner world. And that separation, that sacred space between you and the circumstance, is the essence of mastery. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. You begin to treat your inner state as your highest priority. You begin to recognize when your energy is drifting and gently bring it back. You begin to catch yourself before slipping into old emotional loops. And every time you catch yourself, every time you choose awareness over unconsciousness, you reinforce the truth that you are the master of your day. Think about how many people begin their mornings overwhelmed by things that haven't even happened yet. They replay past disappointments, rehearse future fears, and enter the day carrying weights that have no purpose. Yet the only moment that truly belongs to you is the one you are in. When you master your day, you learn to live in the present moment fully. You learn to access strength not from imagined outcomes, but from the clarity of now. You learn to enter the day without dragging your past or anticipating losses. You learn to show up as a clean vessel, ready, open, receptive. This presence becomes your greatest superpower. When you are present, you see clearly, you hear deeply, you feel accurately. You make decisions guided by intuition rather than anxiety. You respond to life with wisdom rather than impulse. And because of this, the day unfolds more smoothly. Not because the world has changed, but because presence changes the way you experience everything. Mastery also means recognizing that your habits shape your destiny. The smallest rituals you commit to, moments of stillness, conscious breathing, reflection, gratitude, carry tremendous power. They build internal discipline. They create mental spaciousness. They generate emotional resilience. They strengthen your connection to your higher self. They teach your mind to follow your direction rather than drag you into old cycles. When you begin your day with these rituals, you are not doing them for the sake of routine. You are doing them because they sculpt your inner world. They set the tone. They create the foundation upon which the rest of your day rises. Without that foundation, the day becomes unpredictable. But with that foundation, you move through challenges with stability and grace. Mastering your day also means mastering your thoughts, not in the sense of controlling every thought that arises, but in consciously choosing which thoughts to entertain. Thoughts are like invitations. Some lead you into strength, and others lead you into fear. When you become the master of your day, you learn to decline the invitations that lower your energy. You choose thoughts that align with your inner truth. You choose thoughts that elevate rather than diminish. You choose thoughts that empower rather than weaken. Your thoughts are the architects of your experience. They determine how you interpret the world. They shape your emotional responses. They influence your behavior. When you start your day with thoughts rooted in clarity, gratitude, confidence, and purpose, you build a mental environment that supports everything you want to create. And when old, limiting thoughts arise, as they inevitably will, you learn to observe them without absorbing them. You learn to let them pass like clouds rather than becoming storms. Mastering your day also requires emotional awareness. Many people wake up and immediately fall into the emotions of yesterday. They carry stress that no longer belongs to them. They carry frustration from events that have already ended. They carry guilt, worry, or confusion as if those emotions are obligations. But when you master your day, you become aware of the emotional residue you are holding. You recognize what is no longer serving you and release it. You clear emotional space so you can choose intentionally, instead of operating from old emotional imprints. This emotional clearing is not a luxury, it is essential. Your emotions influence your decisions, your perspective, your interactions, and your energy. When you begin the day emotionally burdened, everything feels heavier. But when you begin the day emotionally clear, everything becomes possible. You move with ease, you think with clarity, you act with purpose, You experience life with openness. You also begin to understand the importance of directing your energy. Energy is your most valuable resource, more valuable than time, because without energy, time cannot be used effectively. When you allow your day to master you, your energy leaks everywhere, into worry, into stress, into distractions, into comparisons. But when you master your day, you protect your energy. You become mindful of what drains you and what strengthens you. You make choices that conserve your inner power instead of dissipating it. You begin to notice the environments that support your growth and those that undermine it. You recognize the conversations that uplift your spirit and those that diminish it. You become aware of the patterns within yourself that sabotage your peace. And instead of falling into them unconsciously, you interrupt them consciously. That interruption is an act of mastery. It is the moment you reclaim your authority. Mastery also means becoming selective, not out of judgment but out of alignment. You begin to choose where you invest your attention. You choose which battles are worthy of your energy. You choose which voices you allow into your awareness. You choose which intentions you prioritize. You choose the rhythm of your day based on what supports your highest self rather than what satisfies temporary habits. As you strengthen this inner mastery, you begin to notice a deep shift in how you experience time. Time no longer feels like an enemy. It no longer feels rushed, pressured, or scarce. Instead, time becomes spacious. You move through the day with a calmness that allows you to be productive without being hurried. You realize that mastery creates flow. You realize that presence expands time. You realize that when you control your inner world, the outer world stops making you feel behind. This flow state is not accidental, it is created. It is the result of intentional choices repeated daily, choices to slow down in order to move with clarity, choices to breathe before reacting, choices to focus rather than scatter, choices to prioritize inner stillness over outer noise. Each choice strengthens your ability to master the day, and as this mastery grows, so does your self-trust. You stop doubting yourself. You stop questioning your direction. You stop hesitating in the face of decisions. You begin to trust that the wisdom within you is more accurate than the chaos around you. You begin to trust that your intuition knows the way. You begin to trust that your inner voice carries clarity that external voices cannot provide. This trust becomes your compass, guiding you through uncertainty with confidence. The more you rely on this inner compass, the less you seek validation. You stop trying to meet the expectations of others. You stop giving your power away to opinions, judgments, or criticism. Instead, you operate from a place of alignment, focused, grounded, and authentic. And from this place, you create your day with deliberate intention. You also start to cultivate a deep sense of gratitude, not the performative kind, but the kind that arises from recognizing the miracle of simply being alive. Gratitude grounds you, it opens your heart, it dissolves fear. It shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present. And when your day begins with gratitude, the world appears differently. You start noticing beauty in ordinary moments. You start appreciating the experiences that once felt insignificant. You start seeing the blessings hidden in challenges. Gratitude becomes the emotional foundation upon which you build your day. And from that foundation, you move with a sense of abundance rather than lack, possibility rather than limitation, openness rather than resistance. Mastering your day also means mastering your reactions. Most people move through life reacting unconsciously to every stimulus. They allow emotions, thoughts, and impulses to dictate their behavior. But when you master your day, you learn to pause before reacting. That pause is powerful. In that pause, you reclaim your control. In that pause, you choose your response consciously. In that pause, you prevent yourself from being hijacked by momentary emotions. And with each conscious response, your inner mastery deepens. You begin to feel centered regardless of what is happening around you. You begin to navigate challenges with wisdom rather than frustration. You begin to recognize that your reactions shape your character and your experience far more than the circumstances themselves. As this mastery becomes a natural part of your life, you start to feel a deep sense of empowerment. You stop waiting for the world to organize itself in your favor. You stop expecting the day to magically bring you peace or clarity. Instead, you bring peace and clarity into the day. You create the emotional environment you wish to live in. You become the source of the energy you seek, and the day responds to you differently because you are different. Your presence becomes stronger. Your clarity becomes sharper. Your energy becomes more magnetic. You attract experiences that mirror your internal state. You navigate obstacles with grace instead of resistance. You move through the world with quiet confidence. You stop feeling overwhelmed. You stop feeling powerless. You stop feeling like life is happening beyond your control. You begin to understand that mastering your day is not a task. It is a way of being. It is a relationship between you and the present moment. It is a commitment to awareness. It is the art of choosing how you show up. It is the practice of honoring your inner world above all else. And as you deepen this relationship, each day becomes less about survival and more about creation. You begin to live your days with intention. You begin to move with purpose. You begin to speak with awareness. You begin to think with clarity. You begin to feel with depth. You begin to exist with presence. And as this presence grows, the day no longer masters you because there is nothing left within you that can be mastered. There is only awareness, only choice, only intention, only alignment, only the quiet, steady power of someone who finally understands that life responds to consciousness, not chaos. And from this understanding, you rise into each day with the kind of inner authority that transforms not just your actions, but the very fabric of your reality. For the one who masters the day eventually masters the self. And when you begin mastering the self, life unfolds in a way that feels less like resistance and more like resonance. You begin to sense a deep alignment within you, an inner coherence that makes where you are and who you are feel connected. Instead of waking up in conflict with your own thoughts, you wake with a sense of direction that does not need to be loud or dramatic. It is quiet, steady, and consistent. It guides you gently, reminding you that every day is a chance to reinforce who you choose to be rather than who old patterns insist you are. The mastery you cultivate becomes visible in the smallest details of your day. It shows up in how you speak to yourself before anyone else gets a chance to speak to you. It shows up in the way you move your body, not rushing but moving with deliberate calmness. It shows up in the way you handle delays, inconveniences, misunderstandings, and unexpected disruptions. You no longer collapse into frustration. You no longer surrender to overwhelm. You meet life with the presence of someone who understands that everything comes with a purpose, and every moment carries a message. As this presence deepens, you stop trying to force the day to match your expectations. Instead, you align yourself with the flow of the day. You adapt without losing yourself. You adjust without resisting. You interpret situations with maturity rather than reactivity. And because of this, your day becomes less of a battlefield and more of a dance. There is a rhythm you start to feel, a rhythm that does not rely on perfect conditions but on perfect awareness. You become attuned to this rhythm, and it guides you through the hours with a sense of ease. Most people chase control. They want everything to happen on their terms. They want perfect timing, perfect outcomes, perfect conditions. But mastery is not about controlling everything. It is about controlling yourself within everything. That is where true strength lies. When you can stay centered in the middle of uncertainty, when you can stay calm in the midst of noise, when you can stay grounded in the face of challenge, you are practicing the highest form of mastery. Because anyone can be peaceful in silence. Anyone can be calm when life is smooth. The real mastery is maintaining your inner state when the outer world tries to pull you away from it. You begin to see that the day is not your enemy. It is your mirror. It reflects back the energy you carry. If you carry confusion, the day feels chaotic. If you carry fear, the day feels threatening. If you carry doubt, the day feels uncertain. But if you carry clarity, the day becomes meaningful. If you carry gratitude, the day becomes abundant. If you carry confidence, the day becomes responsive. And if you carry purpose, the day becomes aligned. This is why mastering your inner state is the key to mastering your day. The outer world rearranges itself to meet the energy you project. You start to realize that there is a difference between activity and productivity. Many people fill their day with motion but achieve nothing meaningful. They exhaust themselves but remain unfulfilled. They chase tasks but lose direction. But when you master your day, you move with purpose. You choose your actions intentionally. You focus on what matters rather than what distracts. You stop wasting time on things that don't elevate your life or nourish your spirit. You become selective with your focus, your time, and your emotional investments. The habits you choose begin to align with your vision. The actions you take begin to reflect your values. The decisions you make begin to serve your growth. You stop engaging in the cycles that drain you. You stop repeating the patterns that limit you. You stop giving your energy to people, situations, and behaviors that do not align with your higher path. This is how mastery shapes your life, not in sudden dramatic changes, but in the steady refinement of your daily choices. There is also a growing inner peace that starts to take root. A peace that does not depend on the absence of problems, but on the presence of clarity. A peace that does not crumble under pressure, but strengthens because of it. This peace becomes your anchor. It allows you to handle difficult conversations without losing your composure. It allows you to face challenges without feeling defeated. It allows you to maintain your vision even when things are not unfolding the way you want. That peace becomes the quiet assurance that no matter what the day brings, you are capable of navigating it with grace. As you master your day more consistently, you begin to feel a sense of inner expansion. Your awareness deepens, your perspective widens, you begin to recognize moments you used to overlook. Small joys become significant, simple experiences become profound. You start to notice the beauty in the ordinary, the warmth of sunlight, the stillness in the morning air, the softness of your breath, the sound of silence. Life becomes richer not because anything external has changed, but because you are more present to experience it. Mastering your day also means learning to listen, really listen to yourself. The world is full of voices telling you who to be, what to want, how to live. But when you create space for inner listening, you begin to hear something deeper. You hear your own desires. You hear your intuition. You hear the guidance that comes not from fear but from truth. This listening becomes a sacred practice. It helps you align your actions with your authentic direction. It helps you distinguish between noise and wisdom. It helps you choose paths that honor your inner self rather than impress the outer world. This inner listening becomes a daily dialogue. It becomes a conversation between who you are and who you are becoming. And because of this dialogue, you stop living reactively. You live intentionally. You live deliberately. You live connected to your inner compass. And that compass, Neve, misguides you. It may lead you through challenges, but it will never lead you astray. The more you listen inwardly, the more you recognize your own patterns. You notice the moments when your mind tries to slip back into fear. You notice the moments when old habits try to reclaim control. You notice the subtle ways in which you distract yourself from growth. And with this awareness, you begin to interrupt those patterns. You begin to choose differently. You begin to move consciously rather than automatically. This is how transformation happens, not by force, but by awareness. Not overnight, but moment by moment. Every time you choose awareness over habit, you strengthen your mastery. Every time you choose intention over impulse, you reinforce your alignment. Every time you choose presence over distraction, you elevate your consciousness. And as this elevation continues, your day becomes easier to navigate because you are navigating it from a higher state of awareness. You begin to understand that your day does not start when you open your eyes. Your day starts when you open your awareness. When you wake up and immediately connect with your inner self, you set a tone that carries through the hours. You become less reactive to external demands. You begin to move with clarity. You begin to feel a sense of empowerment. that stays with you no matter what happens. This is the essence of mastering your day, establishing inner power before outer challenges appear. You also learn the importance of resetting throughout the day. Mastery is not just a morning practice, it is a continual realignment. Throughout the day, you check in with yourself. You ask subtle questions. How am I feeling? Where is my energy? What is my intention? That check-in is like recalibrating your internal compass. It brings you back to your center. It brings you back to awareness. It prevents you from drifting into unconscious patterns. It keeps you connected to your higher self, even in the busiest moments. This ability to reset at any moment is one of your greatest tools. It reminds you that you are not bound by how the day started or how an hour unfolded. You can shift at any moment. You can reclaim your clarity at any moment. You can restart your energy at any moment. You can choose again at any moment. This realization gives you immense freedom. It frees you from the belief that a difficult morning means a difficult day. It frees you from the belief that one negative moment defines the entire experience. You understand that mastery is the ability to choose again, and again, and again, as many times as needed. As you live with this awareness, your confidence grows. You begin to trust your ability to navigate anything that comes your way. You stop fearing the unexpected. You stop resisting change. You stop doubting your capacity. Instead, you embody a quiet assurance that no matter what happens, you can meet it with clarity. This confidence is not loud or boastful. It is calm, steady, grounded. It comes from witnessing your own growth. It comes from experiencing your own strength. It comes from proving to yourself day after day that you are capable of leading your life with intention. You also begin to realize that mastering your day has a ripple effect. It affects the people around you. When you move with calmness, others feel it. When you speak with clarity, others listen differently. When you act with intention, others respond differently. You become an example of presence. You become someone whose energy stabilizes rather than destabilizes. You become someone whose presence uplifts rather than diminishes. This influence is not forced, it is natural. When you master your day, you become a source of groundedness in a world full of noise. People begin to say, NSE, something different about you. They may not be able to articulate it, but they feel it. They feel your stability. They feel your clarity. They feel your peace. And this energy inspires them, not because you are trying to inspire them, but because you embody what many people are searching for, inner alignment. Your mastery becomes a silent invitation for others to explore their own. As your mastery deepens, you develop a profound understanding of the connection between your inner world and your outer experience. You realize that the events of the day are not random. They reflect your state of consciousness. You stop blaming the world for your feelings. You stop expecting circumstances to dictate your mood. You stop assuming that life is something happening outside of you. Instead, you see that your internal alignment shapes the lens through which you see everything, and when that alignment is strong, even difficult moments become easier to navigate. In this understanding, you begin to cultivate a deep sense of self-compassion. You stop being harsh with yourself for moments of struggle. You stop judging yourself for emotional fluctuations. You stop demanding perfection from your mind and heart. Instead, you offer yourself patience. You offer yourself understanding. You offer yourself kindness. You recognize that mastery is not about never faltering. It is about gently returning to alignment whenever you do, and that gentleness becomes a strength. You also begin to appreciate the power of simplicity. The more you master your day, the more you realize that clarity thrives in simplicity. You reduce the unnecessary. You release what does not support your growth. You let go of commitments that drain your spirit. You stop cluttering your mind with trivial concerns. You simplify your intentions. You simplify your routines. You simplify your environment. And in that simplicity, you find freedom. You find spaciousness. You find the ability to breathe more deeply and think more clearly. Mastering your day is not a destination, it is a continual process. It is a daily practice of choosing awareness, choosing presence, choosing alignment. Some days you will feel deeply connected, other days you will feel challenged. But the more you practice, the more steady you become. You begin to develop a resilience that is not dependent on external stability. Your stability comes from within. It comes from your awareness, your intention, your inner peace. And because it comes from within, it cannot easily be taken from you over time. The relationship you develop with your day becomes sacred. You no longer rush into it unconsciously. You meet it with reverence. You meet it with gratitude. You meet it with the understanding that each day is a gift, a chance, an opportunity to choose your direction. And because you meet the day with such awareness, the day meets you with such clarity. You begin to see that mastering your day is ultimately about mastering your presence. It is about being fully awake, fully aware, fully engaged with the moment you are in. And the more present you become, the more life reveals its depth to you. Every moment becomes meaningful. Every experience becomes rich. Every interaction becomes alive. You stop sleepwalking through your life. You begin living it fully. As your presence deepens, so does your sense of purpose. You stop trying to chase purpose externally. You stop believing that purpose is something far away. You realize that purpose is found in the way you show up each day, in the way you speak, create, decide, respond, breathe, and choose. Purpose is woven into the fabric of your daily life. It is not something to find, it is something to embody. And when you embody it, your day becomes a vessel for your highest potential. You also begin to trust the timing of your life. You stop rushing, you stop forcing, you stop comparing your journey with others. Instead, you trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. You trust that where you are is preparing you for where you are going. You trust that the challenges you face are shaping your strength. You trust that the delays are refining your clarity. You trust that the pauses are cultivating your patience, and this trust becomes a deep inner peace. You move through your day with a sense of partnership, with time, with life, with your inner self. You begin to sense that you are not working against the universe but with it. You begin to feel supported. You begin to feel guided. You begin to feel connected. This connection becomes a source of strength unlike anything external can provide. And as this connection strengthens, you begin to understand something profound. Mastering your day is about honoring the sacredness of this moment, this breath, this choice. It is about recognizing that the power you seek is already within you, waiting for you to claim it. It is about understanding that every day is a doorway to deeper awareness, deeper clarity, deeper peace. And when you choose to step through that doorway with intention, the day becomes a canvas where your highest self paints in the end, mastering your day is not about perfection, nor is it about contour, awing every minute with clenched fists. It is about awakening to the truth that every moment you are given is infused with possibility, intention, and the quiet whisper of who you are meant to become. When you choose to live deliberately, when you choose to rise with clarity instead of chaos, when you choose to anchor yourself in purpose rather than drift in reaction, you reclaim the authorship of your life. And in doing so, your days begin to evolve from something you endure into something you consciously create. Each sunrise becomes an invitation, not a demand. Each challenge becomes a teacher, not a threat. Each small act of alignment becomes a seed that reshapes your entire destiny. So walk forward with the confidence that your day will respond to the energy you bring to it. Rise in the morning with a heart that knows what it is here to do. Move through the hours with presence, not pressure. Honor your inner world before the outer world makes its claims on you. Because when you stand rooted in intention, your day cannot master you. It can only reflect you. And when it reflects the highest, clearest, most awakened version of you, life itself begins to unfold in ways that feel guided, purposeful, and beautifully aligned with who you are becoming.